Hi, and thank you for choosing to make use of this information tool tutorial. In this tutorial, I will be walking you through the steps of how to create your own email account, as well as how to send emails and respond to received emails. At the end of this tutorial, I will be giving you some questions, as well as an assessment, with which you can test your knowledge of the information received here. After that, I'll be walking you through the steps of the AADI system and how I used them to create this tutorial. Once more, thank you for making use of this and have a great day. As previously stated, the learning objectives for this tutorial are how to create a Google email account or Gmail account, how to send an email with said Gmail account, and how to respond to a received email with the account as well. Before we continue, however, let's go over some of the more common email terminology for those that are not as well versed as others. Pay close attention, as these terms will come up again later in this tutorial. There will also be a quick, ungraded quiz following this slide that will test your knowledge. Feel free to take and use any notes. An email is a form of digital correspondence sent over the internet, very similar to postal mail. Gmail is a particular email service sponsored by Google. There are a number of email services, all of which are able to communicate with one another without issue. Your email address is the name you use to send emails to others, and that others use to send emails to you. Your username is your email identification. Usually it is the same as your address. A password is a personal code used as a security measure to prevent others from accessing your email account. Your inbox is your basic storage for your received emails. As you learn how to sort your email, you will be able to create new inboxes for specific types of email, business, personal, and so on. Lastly, a character is a letter, number, or symbol that can be used in an email address. Emails usually have some restrictions on what can and cannot be used as a character, as well as guidelines for how many and what kinds of characters can be used, usually for your password to help ensure security. To create your Google email or Gmail account, you will first need to head to the Google search engine homepage. When you are there, click in the search box in the center of the screen and type Gmail. Search, and the first option that comes up will be Google Gmail. Click the Gmail link underneath, and you will be brought, once the page loads, to the Create an Account page. Once the page is loaded, click Create an Account. On the next page, you will be prompted to enter all of your information. Your first name, last name, a username, password, and so on. For the purposes of this, we will be using fake information. Note that any password you create will have to be at least 8 characters long. If the password and confirm password you type in are not the same, Google will alert you to this. Once you've finished entering all of your information, click the Next Step button located at the bottom. If there were no further issues, scroll down to the bottom of the Privacy and Terms page and click I agree. You will be prompted to enter your phone number to confirm your email information. You may do this by text or voice call. Either way, you shall receive a PIN number that after you click continue, you will be prompted to type in. In the next part of the tutorial, we will be going over how to create an email and send it to someone else. To send a video, you must first open your Gmail account. To do this, all you need to do is click the Gmail option offered by Google. Once your Gmail account is open, you should be seeing a screen similar to this. Your inbox is the default page. It is here that all of your received emails are stored. To send an email, click the Compose button located on the left side of the screen. A text box will pop up at the bottom right of the screen, prompting you to describe to whom you are sending the email and the subject. To send an email, you must know the email address of the person you are sending it to. We are using a fake email previously established. The subject simply describes what your email will be about. In the final box, you will write the body of your email, including all of the details you wish to share. Click the Send button located at the bottom of the box to send your email. As you learn how to use your email, you will also learn how to attach files. These may be video, image, or otherwise that you wish to share with the person you are sending the email to. Once you click Send, you will be notified that the email has been sent. And the other person's email, they should receive the email you sent almost instantaneously. To access this email, left-click on it in your inbox. You will be able to read the body and download any attachments attached. To reply to an email, all you have to do is click the arrow icon labeled Reply in the right hand of the email's box. By doing that, all information will be filled in automatically with who the email was originally from. Simply type the body of your email, attach any files you wish to have attached, and then click Send yourself. Back at the first email, they should also receive your response almost instantaneously. By left-clicking on it, they too will be able to read your email and download any attached files. Thank you very much for watching this part of the tutorial. Once again, thank you for making use of this tutorial, and I hope it was helpful. After this slide, I have the questions and assessment I would ask you to complete. Following that is the AI system description and how I used it to make this tutorial. After that, there is a brief survey I would ask you to complete so that I can better improve tutorials such as this one in the future. Thank you, and have a great day, year, and life in general. Please complete the evaluation activities shown on the screen here at your earliest convenience. When using AI to develop this tutorial presentation, I started off by imagining my target audience as adults, perhaps elderly, or older children that had difficulties with setting up an email account or perhaps had simply never done it before. With this in mind, I set out to analyze them, and here I had to improvise as I had no actual physical audience. I had to once more imagine them. It was at this stage that I truly determined what their levels of competency with technology were, and set out to make the presentation both as simple and straightforward as possible because of it, both visually and in terms of what effects are used, hence a lack of reliance on fancy transitions and effects. And thus went the design process, a simple task in terms of actual layout. The difficulties truly came in when I was attempting to determine what I wanted to be purely visual and what I wanted to be video, though I ultimately decided that on all but the question slides, at least a voiceover was warranted. What sorts of questions I wanted was also a part of the decision making here. Development was overlaid with the design process, as I chose to work and design at the same time. Partially to save time, partially due to a lack of familiarity with the program being used. This is Adobe Captivate. And I want to familiarize myself with as many of the features as possible so that I can make a better judgment call onto what could and should be where. Implementation was a simple matter of uploading it to the professor and awaiting final approval. In a regular teaching scenario, however, this phase would be given the tutorial to the students and having them watch it a few times over if needed. That's one of the benefits of this. It can be repeatedly taught without having to worry about overspending instructor time or resources. As many times as it needs to be repeated, the students can watch it. The evaluation phase, as always, comes last, and while I included a few true-false questions for the sake of it, the real meat of the evaluation comes from the assessments given to them. That is, the send me an email and then respond to my response part. That is what will tell me they, 1, were able to successfully create the email, and 2, were able to understand the instructions well enough to repeat them. Again, if I were in a normal teaching scenario, this would be where the analyze step starts over again, and I would use the previous evaluations to determine what my students understood about the lesson. For example, if I received no response emails back, it would be clear that they did not understand how to respond to an email sent to them, and I would use this to create a follow-up tutorial geared more towards that. AADI, or simply ADDI in some cases, is an excellent simplification of the instructional system, and while I could likely have set all of this up on my own, having a roadmap of sorts of creation and expectations already laid out for me definitely helped speed up the process quite nicely and helped me organize my thoughts altogether.